All right, we are back with the GSMC Wrestling Laureate Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. I'm your favorite wrestling fan here every Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Pacific Time, 11 p.m. Eastern Time on the GSMC Sports Network to talk about the greatest thing in the world, professional wrestling. We talk about all the action inside and outside of the ring, backstage curtain calls, rumors, and drama. We talk about inactive statuses, injury updates. We also talk about superstar contract negotiations, extensions, and new signings. We talk about promotions like WWE to AEW, to the MLW, to the GCW, to TNA, to Ring of Honor. If it makes major news in the world of professional wrestling, we talk about it here on this show, 1010%. So Superman, punch that like and subscribe button and receive some notifications when we give out awesome new content. So without further ado, let's jump on into our next segment. We got our WWE Monday Night Raw talk. We're going to get into the action, but before we do that, just want to remind you guys to go ahead and hit up that super chat right there, whether if you have a burning question or a hot take in terms of the world of professional wrestling, or just something you've been dying to get off your chest here at the GSMC Sports Network. We want you guys to feel like your voice is heard. We want you guys to feel absolutely comfortable to get anything you want off of that chest of yours, so don't be shy. Drop your thoughts inside that chat. That super chat guarantees anything you guys put inside that little chat box right there. Slap that $sign. It's gonna be featured on the show, 1010%. Plus, it's a great way to support the channel. Your support, your super chats helps us keep the lights on and bring you even more awesome content that you guys love so dang much. First and foremost, a thank you in advance. We're super grateful for each and every one of you guys who joins us here daily on the GSMC Sports Network. So obviously, thank you guys so much. So let's get the conversation going. Send in those super chats, those super stickers, because you guys are super awesome, and together we will make sure this podcast is bigger, better, and stronger than ever. Once again, it's super chat not your thing. It's all good. Go ahead and hit up that tips and donations link at the GSMCpodcast.net. Tell me what you like. Tell me what you don't like. And just remember to Superman punch that like and subscribe button to the show. Follow the show. Follow the network here at the GSMC Sports Network. We do love a lot of peace, love, and positivity, 1010%. But in terms of talking sports, it's inevitable. There's going to be some disagreements. There's going to be some criticisms. It's all good. It's all gravy, baby. It's already water under the bridge. Just drop anything in that chat. Obviously, we welcome all opinions, hot takes, facts, just feel comfortable. All right, without further ado, we got some WWE Monday Night Raw talk airing, being streamed on Netflix for the second week in a row. Obviously, it's not going to have that same, although, it's not going to be at the Intuit Arena, the home of the Los Angeles Clippers, who, they make it a little bit more of a spectacle, but I believe it's still going to be pretty cool. They're up in San Jose, California, the hometown of Bayley, former WWE Women's Champion. We have a street fight. We got a street fight tonight, Finn Balor and Damien Priest. It has been rumored, it's been speculated online that we are going to see Bad Bunny help Damien Priest fend off the Judgment Day, maybe get this storyline start brewing. Damien Priest forms a nice little posse to take on the Judgment Day at WrestleMania 41, and then obviously the Judgment Day are going to do what they do best and lose, and then that's going to be the end of that, hopefully. I feel like the Judgment Day storyline is about done. I feel like on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being they're going to break up, I feel like maybe they're like that at that 8.5, because at this point, I don't see how Carlito, how JD, how Dirty Dom, and now Liv Morgan doesn't have the title anymore. And her, Raquel Rodriguez. Obviously, the women are in completely different storylines and situations, so I'm not going to put too much hate on that. It's been, I read a couple of reports stating that Liv Morgan might drop Dominic Mysterio and, be like, oh, you're the reason why I lost this and that and the other. So that could be a possibility. That could definitely be a possibility. Or you see, Liv Morgan win the Women's Money in the Bank match. Maybe she wins the Royal Rumble. I don't think her storyline is going to end anytime soon. Same with Dominic Mysterio. It would be interesting to see if, I would not necessarily have him win the Royal Rumble, but him being Mr. Money in the Bank, and then with Liv, Mrs. Money in the Bank, running Monday Night Raw, I wouldn't hate that. I wouldn't hate that whatsoever. I feel like that'd be actually pretty damn cool. So, definitely a nice little future storyline. Next, we have Chad Gable taking on a mystery luchador. Who's going to be the luchador? everybody knows it's going to be Penta. Penta's going to debut on WWE Monday Night Raw. Putting him up against Chad Gable, I kind of like it. Chad Gable has a lot of experience inside the ring. Literally, he trains his competition. Literally, he holds the company on his back. He is definitely the first person to be like, you know what, if you can hang inside the ring with Chad Gable, kind of like a Kurt Angle. Once when Kurt Angle was, the Olympic gold medalist, well, he still is, but back then, if you can hang in the ring with Kurt Angle, you can hang with them all. And I feel like Chad Gable is kind of like at that status of being as good as Kurt Angle was. Although Kurt Angle was probably one of the best wrestlers in sports entertainment history. But I'm happy to see him going against Gable. Gotta be honest, obviously, the American-made aspect of it. He's gonna have the red, white, and blue America, and then you have a luchador, Latino wrestler, come in and basically debut against Chad Gable, who's America. That was a little, obviously they don't obviously I don't think they mean that, but I just kind of looked at it and I was like, oh no, because I know some people will definitely look at this and be like, oh, this is just another way for it to be like, oh, I don't know, I don't know, I just kind of had to address it. Sheamus takes on Ludvig Kaiser. Like I said before, earlier in the show, I'm getting a little tired of these two guys constantly at each other's throats. Obviously, the only person that's missing out of this match would probably be Braun Breaker. Those three they've been going at it. With one attacking the other. I want to see something different. I do want to see something different. Ludvig Kaiser. He's a rising star. He's done great inside the ring. He cuts decent promos. Actually, he's more than decent. I feel like he does pretty good. Sheamus is at that age where I feel like he's putting superstars over, so this is going to be great. Ludwig obviously gets to work with the Celtic Warrior, and the Celtic Warrior could definitely help Kaiser, kind of dip into his, bag of arsenal and kind of push him to the limit to be like, hey, if you want to, be a future WWE champion, you gotta hang in the ring. This is what you gotta do. And I feel like Ludwig, he can hang. So it's gonna be a good match. We got the final between the Lyra Valkyria going up against Dakota Kai for the inaugural WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship match. I would love to see Lyra Valkyria win. I feel like she deserves it. I like how WWE is, they're going more international. Think about it. You have the NXT World Champion, from Nigeria, Obafemi. You have, the NXT Women's World Champion, Julia, from Japan and stuff like that. And then you have Chelsea Green, United States champion. She's Canadian. So, it goes on and on and on. Gunther, obviously, the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. They deserve it all. They deserve it all 1,010%. I like how WWE is starting to give a little bit more, international love to a lot of these superstars. For the longest time, I feel like it was predominantly like white and American made and stuff like that. So, it's kind of cool to get a different taste of culture. Obviously, this world is super diverse and it's only going to be more diverse. And so thus, the wrestling world has to adjust. And, it's not a bad thing at all. It's great. It's absolutely great. Next, we have the Wyatt Six. Are they going to finally start this feud between them and Karrion Kross? I feel like Monday Night Raw being on Netflix should add more of a horror movie-like promos between the two. Watching Karrion Kross get a little more crazy than Bo Dallas or Uncle Howdy, it could be cool. It could be pretty badass. A lot of people think that, and me, myself, I read an article, how Bo Dallas makes this shift into The Fiend. Like, Bray Wyatt was The Fiend, but The Fiend, he takes host. He had it over Bray Wyatt, and now he's going to have it over Bo Dallas. What happens with the Uncle Howdy character? Maybe Uncle Howdy possesses another soul. Maybe something happens along the lines of that. Necessarily, it's not dead. It's never been dead. Kind of like the Kane character back in the WWE Attitude Era. I had a couple of discussions with a couple of wrestling fans. A lot of people say that Glenn Jacobs, he took a break from being Kane because his whole body, like he just looked different. Like he just looked different. Obviously, in interviews, he sticks to the character that he was Kane the whole time. Could we possibly, conspiracy theory alert, the character Kane, you put on the mask, you're tall, you could pull it off. So was Glenn Jacobs Kane the whole time? I think, I'm not going to be a cynic. I feel like he was. I definitely feel like he was. But, I just thought that was kind of interesting how maybe perhaps we could see the whole thing with The Fiend come back. This guy who's literally, as diabolical, as, horrific. He's sick. The Wyatt Six. And then, he finds a way to kind of come back. So that'd be pretty cool. Are we going to find a challenger for Gunther's World Heavyweight Championship? Hopefully he does defend it at the Royal Rumble. Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre may be coming together closer and closer and closer. The enemy of my enemy is my friend kind of thing. Seth Rollins losing against CM Punk last week on Netflix. Rhea Ripley, she's going to have a title celebration. Will Liv Morgan crash it, demanding her rematch clause? Who knows? Logan Paul, maybe, perhaps the next challenger for Braun Breaker's WWE Intercontinental Championship. I feel like at this point, that's not really much of a shocker. Like, going up against Gunther, maybe it could happen, but I would rather see him go against Braun Breaker, and I would rather see Braun, pick up the victory and, kind of further solidify his claim as this amazing, unpredictable badass on WWE. So, I definitely think that would be pretty cool for both characters, being honest. All right, without further ado, we're going to jump on into our next segment. We got WWE NXT to talk about. So grab your favorite snack, grab your favorite ice cold beverage, and join me here in about 20 seconds. So, hey, do not go anywhere.